shower, you'll see where it says kitchen. There's 6 basic windows. I am done acknowledging that woman. Here on the left side is River Roast. There are only 5 basic windows. They cut out a bay.
During my Chicago food tour, the first place I went to was called the Hampton Social, and I actually ended up going there by accident. We were trying to reach another place, and we ended up getting turned around. And then boom, the Hampton Social was right there, so we were just like, let's give it a try because we had already walked a bunch. Per usual, let's read some bad reviews. For the most part, the reviews are really good, but let's see what the negative Nancy's has got to say, and then I'll tell you what I think. 1 star, do not go there. They primarily serve seafood or meat and do not accommodate vegetarians. Do not accommodate vegetarians? Am I crazy, y'all? I can't be crazy. If you have a specific dietary need, you should probably see if that restaurant caters to that need before you go there. I'm just saying. Pizza, bad. Macaroni and cheese, bad. Brussels sprouts, bad. Beets, not bad. See, people, I just don't trust people like this. Now we got a 2-star. Came here with my friend Amy a few weeks ago. First of all, why do we care about your friend's name? Just talk about the food. Incredibly painfully chuggy. Who says chuggy anymore? Like, I feel like it's chuggy to actually vocally say the word chuggy. Physical manifestation of a wine joke poster hung in a millennial's kitchen? What? God, I cannot stand when people think they're so much cooler than they actually are by trying to write a fancy little sentence like that. Like, you think you're really roasting with this over-the-top sentence, but really you just sound kind of stupid. Ugh, Cassidy, I'm gonna use the word millennial. There was a guy belting terrible acoustic covers of Billboard's top 20s to the entire restaurant. So what? Like, what? This is a stupid complaint. The service was bad, the food was bad and expensive. Gave it an extra star because the Parmesan fries earned it. I will say the service, it needed a little bit of work. It wasn't terrible, but it did need a little bit of work. There's a lot of reviews that talk about bad service and how they can't handle like bridal showers and large parties, large groups. I can't speak on that because it was just me and Rissa, and here was our experience. First of all, the quote-unquote chuggy millennial decor, I thought it was beautiful. It's very open, very spacious, large windows with a breeze coming through, and there's a huge patio area. It's called the Hampton Social, so of course it has that fun beach vibe. We started with the Bloody Mary oyster shooters, and this was a 10 out of 10 for me. They were so good. The oyster was nice and cold, and it adds such a great texture. I like to kind of slightly chew my oyster instead of just like tossing it back, which maybe that's weird, I don't know. But it had such a great texture. So you take the oyster, then you take a shot of either vodka or tequila that's mixed like a Bloody Mary. We chose vodka because I am not trying to party like it is spring break 012, no thank you. The glass was rimmed with celery salt, which was such a cute little touch, and honestly a genius idea because it kind of looked like sand. And the flavor is so good. It paired with Bloody Mary and oyster so well. Then we got an appetizer and 2 entrees, and let's talk about this appetizer. It was huge. It's called a shareable appetizer. When they say shareable, they mean 5 to 6 people. It was a ginormous portion. This is the grilled octopus, and it was absolutely delicious, you guys. Look at her. She's like, I don't know. It was 10 on 10. So good. Really good. I've had octopus before, but I've never had pieces this big. Look how huge that is. It looks like a crab leg. It was covered in this cream sauce with pistachios, olives, cherry tomatoes, and it was so tender. Like, look, you can see my fork goes right through it. It had a nice grilled smoky flavor. I had a lobster roll sitting right in front of me, but I wasn't paying it any attention because all I wanted to do was eat this. I honestly could eat this as my main course and call it a day because it also had potatoes in there that were like perfectly soft and roasted, and I can't express how good this was. Highly recommend. For my entree, this was my very first time trying a lobster roll. It comes either Maine style, which is chilled and creamy, or Manhattan style, which is warm and buttery. I'm giving this a 6.5 out of 10. It was good, but it definitely needed a little more seasoning, maybe some salt and pepper, maybe a little lemon juice. There was actually a lot of lobster in there. It just needed a little more seasoning. Like, I found myself enjoying the crispy, crunchy, buttery bread a little bit more than the lobster. First, I got the fish and chips, and I forgot to get a lot of footage of it, but it was so good. It was crispy, crunchy. The tartar sauce was delicious. I'm giving that an 8 out of 10. The only other negative besides the lobster roll being kind of mid was the tiny little cups they give you for water. Like, me and Rissa had just walked a bunch and there was no ice, and it was just a little old cup. Like, give me some ice. Click that thumbnail down below to see more of my Chicago food tour, and while you're at it, give me a subscribe.